Welcome into College Football Smothered and Covered. Rainy Friday here in Metro Atlanta. Also a rainy Friday up in Louisville, Kentucky, where the PGA Championship is going on. Now, I will tell you, I am doing better than Scotty Scheffler was doing about 6 o'clock this morning. Now, after the first 9 holes of his round, he's doing a little better than I am. Plus, he's getting paid to play golf, right? So good for him. Really wish I was him, actually, because I would love to play golf the way he does. But we are here to talk about college football, and we have you covered 24/7, 365 here on College Football Smothered and Covered. And you know what? Go watch, go listen to everybody on the Believe Network. Go watch, go listen to everybody else out there in the new media world. You deserve more than listening to NBA playoff talk on the legacy mainstream media. And honestly, I looked up ESPN at 11:50 this morning, and they were talking about Michael Jordan. Seriously, they were talking about Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I'm not joking. And that is why we don't watch them. But we're here for you, so go check out everybody around the new media because we can cover all of college football. Hey, this show brought to you by Bet Online, your number one source for all things sports this summer, whether it be golf, whether it be Major League Baseball, NASCAR, whatever. Get all the latest stats, news, and scores available for your favorite teams. You can get game lines, prop bets, spreads, all of that stuff over at Bet Online. Go to betonline.ag. Bet Online has you covered. You can go on your mobile device. You can go on your browser, on your laptop, on your tablet, wherever. Bet Online has you covered. Bet Online, where the game starts. Hey, if you're new to the show, give us 5 stars, please. Or not. You can leave us a review. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you dislike. And let's be honest, if you're watching this show, listening to this show, you know how to do the podcast thing, but your neighbor, your friend, your brother, your sister might not. So please share this with them because we are here to cover college football 24/7, 365. Okay. The video game. EA Sports, the new version of the college football video game, was released on Friday morning. And look, I'm 43 years old, right? You might think, hey, a 43-year-old, why are you so excited about the video game? I've played the college football game since high school. I can't remember what it was called, but back my senior year, the first one came out, and I played it forever, even into the 2014 season when I was a boss with Denard Robinson. But I also took Idaho into a dynasty. Check this place out, the Kibby Dome. My former home, the place where many national championships were won. Unfortunately, Idaho dropped down to FCS, so I can no longer use the Vandals as my dynasty and play in this lovely building, the greatest stadium in college football, the Kibby Dome in Moscow, Idaho. So still trying to figure out exactly which team is going to lead me to glory. So we'll see about that. But check this out. This is the video that EA Sports released. And if you're listening, go check it out on the YouTube page. If you're watching, this will get you pumped.
Finally, it is here. You can take all that just another game stuff and throw it out. The eyes of the nation are on this field today, and that's what these players live for.
If that does not get you pumped, I do not know what will. From the graphics to the names on the backs of the jerseys, which I think is fantastic. I know that's a little thing that people might not understand, but I'm old enough to remember the days where the game came out and you had to wait a full day and find someone out there who inputs every single name on every single team in the system. They need to download it, they have to upload it. The fact that you saw Kyle McCord and Travis Hunter and Jalen Milroe in there got me so excited. And there were subtleties in that video that I think were fantastic. The 4th and 31 from Jalen Milroe to the back of the end zone. It was not Isaiah Bond and it was not in Auburn. It was to Travis Hunter in Colorado. Things like that. If you have not seen that video, Clemson touching Howard's Rock, everything about that was perfect. And it was just absolutely perfect. And you didn't get to see a lot of the gameplay, which I am totally fine with. But listening to Chris Fowler talk about everything in this game, doing the play-by-play and everything that goes with it, I cannot wait to do this. And, why am I so excited? Before I was, just a kid, not a kid, young adult, and I played all the time. Now I'm a dad. Now I have a 12-year-old son and an 8-year-old daughter. I don't think she's going to care all that much, but my 12-year-old is so pumped about this. And I don't think he realizes the kind of tail kicking that he's about to receive. I know this game. I lived on this game. It's going to take him a little bit of time to get used to it. Hopefully this game is not like Madden, because I don't like Madden. Not just because I don't like the NFL all that much. It's because the gameplay is too complicated. I hope this is a little bit more old school in terms of how you can go about playing this game. I don't need to have like 6 different audible options and change every single route at the line of scrimmage. Now, they didn't get into the gameplay, which I think was a little disappointing, but whatever. They're not going to make everything, they're not going to give away everything in this trailer, but this is a big day. And for college football fans, look, I know some people are not gamers. I know some of y'all listening to this, judging from the analytics, judging from the folks at Apple and also on YouTube that give us the analytics. I know some of y'all are older, but this is great for the sport. It's great for the sport. And we'll get into why in just a second. But on Friday, EA Sports did release some of the options and gameplay options. And we're going to go through a couple of these. The first one is one that I will absolutely dominate, and the one that I lived for back in the day. It was the Dynasty. You can create a coach, take control, upgrade their abilities, and build a powerhouse college football program. You can establish your coaching staff, then work out to recruit the best players, either straight from high school or through the transfer portal. That's going to be fun. And take your team to the next level where up to 32 players can compete against each other on and off the field. Now, Online Dynasty, that's basically what that is. Super pumped about that. But I'm excited to see how they use the transfer portal, because there are 2 transfer portal windows now. Back in the day, that wasn't the case. Plus, the early signing period exists now, and traditional National Signing Day is not where it was when this game went away. So there are going to be a lot of things to juggle. And I truly anticipate that EA Sports will make this as realistic as possible with everything going on after the end of Championship Saturday. So I don't know how you're going to navigate through all of this, but the transfer portal thing is going to be wild to me. I don't think you'll be able to go out there and tamper. I know you do tamper in real life. Coaches do it all the time. I think they're going to have to dumb down that process a little bit and play it a little bit more by the book. So what you're going to end up having happen is you're going to have players go in the portal, then you're going to get to contact them and all that stuff, which is how this whole thing is supposed to work. But to combine that with high school recruiting going into new National Signing Day, December National Signing period, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to ask players to come on visits. I would imagine that you can do that during the season as well, which is obviously a big deal for coaches, a big deal for players. So that the Dynasty mode to me is exactly what I'm going to do. And the fact that they put the transfer portal window in, fantastic. Interested to see, though, what happens with spring practice, because there is a spring transfer portal window. I would imagine you get to go through spring practice. You get to work on some players, develop players, and then see if they want to leave or see if they want to stay, and then hit that market again. So there's a lot going on in the world of college football that didn't exist back when this game disappeared. And I really hope that they address this properly, because I'll be honest with you, the rollout to this game has been rather sloppy. There have been leaks here and there, and that's unfortunate. And I hope they paid more attention to the actual development of the game itself and not just marketing. I hope they're not Jeff Collins here. I hope they're not Collinsing us. And what I mean by that is build the hype, sell the product before actually creating something that's worth selling. This has been so long in the making. I don't think they would do that, but we have been fooled before. Now, this is going to be interesting. Road to glory. Live the life of a student athlete you created. Take that player, take him to the Heisman Trophy as you build an unforgettable college football legacy. Manage your weekly schedule, GPA, and your image. Earn coach trust to get more playing time, and use the transfer portal to get the time and the glory you deserve. This is going to be interesting. Now, you did a little bit of that back in the day. MLB The Show, which is something that my 12-year-old plays all the time, they have this in a way that I think is fantastic. You get a player, start him at 0, and the game will only show you when he's involved in plays, whether he's hitting or a fly ball goes in the outfield or whatever. I would assume that it's the same thing here. And I know my 12-year-old's going to do this. Like, this is going to be the only thing that he does, and while I build my dynasty. And it's gotten to a point with my 12-year-old that he watches a dude who always wears a Colorado hat take a player, whether it be Aaron Judge or Acuna or whatever, and builds him into a 99. Look, I'm not the biggest. I don't understand what the Utes do with, watching other people play video games, but I think it's prepping him for what's coming in the college football game. So I'm fascinated to see how they work the transfer portal, the GPA thing, time management. Yeah, cool. It's not my cup of tea. If it's yours, comment. Let us know. Let me know. Because I'd love to see how popular this game mode will be. Because quite honestly, I don't understand it all that much. I don't get the allure to it because I just want to play the games themselves. But apparently it's a big deal to a lot of folks. College Football Ultimate Team. Build your dream team of college football stars and legends. Play solo challenges or head-to-head seasons to upgrade your squad and take on the toughest contests. Test your skills across consoles in more competitive formats like College Football Ultimate Team, Champs, and Champs Gauntlet. Now, across consoles is big because now I've heard that this is the only mode where you can go across consoles, which sucks. I wish they would do that more, but at least they're giving you a little bit. And Ultimate Team, I think, is fun because, like, who wouldn't want, Tim Tebow and Trent Richardson back in the day on the same team? Amari Cooper, all that together would be phenomenal. And I don't like this all that much because I like to have the actual players on the actual teams, but it'll be very popular with a lot of folks because I know that building an all-star team, building, the ultimate team in Madden and in RB and in the show and a lot of these other games, it's what basically everybody does, right? You're not going to build the Falcons into a Super Bowl caliber team, not because you can't, but because what's the fun in that? Everybody wants to go build their own team in a variety of different ways with real people. So this one will be big, especially across platforms. The last one, Road to the College Football Playoff. Experience a new way to play competitively across consoles in the Road to the College Football Playoff, where you represent your university or take Power School to climb the polls. Earn rank by upsetting the toughest opponents and securing the votes you need to progress and level up divisions. Stack wins to earn your chance at making the playoff and take home the national championship. Now, to me, and from what I've read, this basically is, you pick a team and you just only go for the playoff. You don't have to. It's a single season. It's not a dynasty. And that's fun too. Like, I think that'd be fantastic. But this to me is a little too close to dynasty. It's cross-platform though, which to me I think is certainly going to be helpful because, like, I've got an Xbox, or my son's got an Xbox, and my friends are going to get PS5, and I'd rather play them than play some randos who develop some sort of online league, which, whatever. That's not that fun. All right. We're getting away from the game. More serious things, sort of. Sort of. My good friend, my colleague over at Outkick wrote this, Trey Wallace. You can go follow him at Trey Wallace _ or go read his stuff at Outkick. Jimbo Fisher proclaims college sports is not fair and mid-major programs are becoming glorified junior college. And Trey writes, Fisher certainly didn't hold back where he thinks college sports are heading. Jimbo's never been afraid to speak his mind. I've gotten into it with Jimbo during my career. In fact, one time, this is at the Florida State Auburn BCS championship game. Damian Craig was on Auburn's staff. He had been with Jimbo Fisher at numerous stops for like a decade before that season. And I asked Jimbo if he was going to start disguising some signs because Damian knows what's going on. And Jimbo snapped at me. He said, why not? Didn't work with Coley. And Coley was James Coley, worked at Miami at the time and had worked with Jimbo as well. And I sat there, I kind of laughed. I was like, bro, okay. You're stubborn. I know the pride thing. I guess that was the first time where I really realized how stubborn Jimbo Fisher was. And sure enough, in that BCS national championship game, Damian Craig, flat billed hat, down low, looking directly across the field. And I guess it's not a surprise that Auburn dominated that first half. Now, that's not cheating. That's not what Connor Stallions did. That's just good coaching and good football. Obviously, Florida State came back and won that game. But Jimbo's never been afraid to pop off a little bit. We saw that with the sliced bread thing back, was that a couple years ago? But I love the fact that Jimbo actually gets to do this without any fear of repercussion because he's right. He's 100% right. These group of 5 teams are going to turn into glorified junior colleges. These FCS schools are going to turn into glorified junior colleges where you only go for a couple years and then you move on. My thing is this. Didn't we see that coming? Like this is all part of the plan. And I say plan, the plan of Greg Sankey, Tony Petitti, the SEC and the Big Ten, and to a lesser extent, the Big 12 and the ACC. This is what they want. Realignment back in 2010, I guess it was 2009 when it actually started with Nebraska, but Nebraska's last game in the Big 12 was 2010 and that Big 12 championship game. Once all of that stuff started rolling downhill, it became clear that the haves and the have-nots, that gap was going to continue to get bigger. So it's not a surprise what Jimbo said. It is interesting, though, that you have a former coach, a high-profile former coach, flat out say junior colleges, because that's different than the haves and the have-nots. What he's saying is that they are going to be pretty much out of sight, out of mind. Now, that part sucks, because there are so many opportunities for players at that level to succeed, to put good game tape on film, and to become NFL players. They don't have to transfer. They could. They don't have to. Now, what you're going to see is much lesser competition. You're going to see game tape that doesn't matter all that much, or at least as much as it does now. And you're going to see fewer opportunities for those players to be seen. And you're also going to get fewer opportunities for players below the group of 5 to play football, because those teams, those programs are going to suffer a financial loss. And so that means fewer scholarships, and that means fewer opportunities for players who aren't that good simply to get education, simply to get healthcare, simply to get food on the table, at training table, get quality training, all that stuff. Because at junior colleges, you don't get an awful lot of that. So it's nice to see Jimbo say something like this. And I'll be honest, I don't like Jimbo Fisher. I don't. Texas A&M fans will tell you that. I didn't like him as a coach. Not too fond of him in terms of the public eye. But I love the fact that he says what a lot of other people said and takes it to an extent of saying they're going to be junior colleges, because that is a completely different thing than talking about the haves and the have-nots. He's basically saying that they're going to be irrelevant, and that's a big problem because opportunities exist that might not exist because of all of the things that are happening in the world of college football. That will do it for this edition of College Football Smothered and Covered, presented by Bet Online. Really appreciate you guys checking out the show. Share it with your friends. Let them know how they can get a hold of this show. 5 stars, 1 star, that'd be cool too. We'd love that. That'd be great. Until next time, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.